How would you describe this moment we are in, if not a prelude to war?
It's an existential moment for the Iranian regime, and it's a moment of great uncertainty for the United States. President Trump has put his own credibility on the line and U.S. credibility on the line. He's now threatened more than 6 times that if Iran continues to kill protesters, that he will take action. He said more than a week ago that the United States is locked and loaded if Iran kills protesters. Since then, Iran has killed perhaps thousands, maybe even more than 10,000 based on some estimates. So Iran's regime is on the line and U.S. credibility is on the line.
Karim, I'm curious, is help from the U.S. welcome in Iran, as you just explained the situation and how the numbers have gone up? What do the Iran protesters want from the U.S.?
You know, I don't want to paint Iran as a monolithic society, 92 million people. Even amongst protesters, there's probably different views. I would say at a minimum, what would be overwhelmingly welcome among Iranians is to help the country restore connectivity. It's a country in which the regime essentially throttles the internet, throttles satellite and cellular communications to kill its population in the dark. And we know that connectivity in Iran is around 1%. Images are not coming out. People can't communicate with the outside world. Iranians can't communicate with one another. So whether it's using offensive cyber capabilities, whether it's even using kinetic power to try to take out Iran's jamming equipment, restore connectivity, that is, I think, at a minimum. Now, whether to go beyond that, I think there's probably different views among the protesters on the ground. Many would welcome U.S. support at a minimum as a shield for them, not necessarily as a sword, but as a shield to help protect them from essentially a regime which is shooting live bullets at them.
How are the protesters communicating? You just went through, they have very little means, but yet they are in communication. So how are they getting around this communication blackout?
It's not clear to me that there is organized communication. You know, there are probably now in the thousands, if not over 10,000 Starlink terminals inside Iran now. So some people do have access to that, but it's very difficult when they shut off all forms of communication for people to really organize. This is, you know, for that reason, when you see, we've now seen collectively millions of Iranians take to the street over the last couple of weeks. That's very significant because each of those people knows that they're risking their life, and they're not doing it with you know, the communication tools that we have in open societies.
Mm-hmm. President Trump is telling U.S. allies and Americans, if there are any listening in Iran, to leave the country. Karim, what kind of panic or chaos might that create as people try to flee Iran?
You know, we've seen this once before, last June, when during the 12-day war, President Trump actually implored residents of Tehran to evacuate the city, a city of perhaps 12 million people. It did create a lot of chaos and panic. Right now, people are living under essentially military rule in the city of Tehran. So there's probably in the hundreds, if not low thousands, of U.S. citizens still living in Iran. And, you know, that's a choice that they made knowing about the great uncertainty facing the country.